So this video I was kind of nervous to do, but I feel like if I was starting all over again, I would like to know a few things about what I should really know about teaching. Hey friends, it's me, Andrea from Learning and Loving It. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. Please make sure to subscribe, comment, like, you know, everything that they always say. It really does help me out, it really does make me happy, and I feel so supported from you guys, so thank you so much, and thank you for checking out this video. So this video I was kind of nervous to do, but I feel like if I was starting all over again, I would like to know a few things about what I should really know about teaching. Because of course you go into it because you love kids. You want to make a difference in a kid's life. You want to have the summer off. You love the breaks. But that's all you kind of really know at the very beginning. You don't really know about all the real things that happen in the classroom. And it would be good to know if you're in student teaching, or if you're doing practicums, or if you're just in school right now. Maybe you're in high school and you're thinking about becoming a teacher. Here are some things that are really going down in the classroom. Some of them might sound negative, but I prefer to look at them as just being truthful, just so you're not afraid when you enter the classroom, because a lot of things are hard sometimes, but there's a lot of good too, believe me. Every teacher always finds the good, or else we would never come back. There's always good in everything, so. Let's get into the list of what I wish I would have known before becoming a teacher. So the first thing on my list is just being prepared for the unexpected. So that could mean being prepared for kids just throwing up out of nowhere, being prepared for kids just peeing all over themselves. Sometimes there's wasps that come in your room, sometimes bees, sometimes black widows, sometimes lizards. Just be prepared for anything to come into your room at any time. You can tell the kids and tell the kids and tell the kids not to run in the classroom, but sometimes they do. They always do. They're very excited and very energetic. You just have to be prepared for what happens when they eventually fall, because they will. One time this little girl was running and running and running around the classroom, and I had told her to stop. I had told her please walk. Everything you're supposed to say, right? She just kept doing it. She tripped on something. She knocked her face on the desk and had to get stitches in her lip. She was bleeding everywhere. It was crazy. Also coming with the unexpectedness is all of the drills that we have. Sometimes there's a fire drill like right in the middle of a lesson. Sometimes there are lockdown drills now. We have to be prepared. Kids do get scared, and you have to be ready to tell them that you're there for them. Don't worry about it. Sometimes they say the most sad things when those drills are going on, but we're always there for them. We're always there to protect them, so that's what they need to know. You can also get a brand new student at any time, any second of the day. Usually this happens mostly at the beginning of the year, but throughout the year, our secretary will just come down. She'll say, oh, here's your new student, and just introduce you right in front of them, and you're like, I have nothing prepared, but hello, nice to meet you. So that is something you should do, is prepare a new student packet so you have something ready in case you have a new student. Also, with the unexpected is you have to be ready to make decisions like that. And I think that's why I don't make decisions in the rest of my life, because all day long, that's all I do. Decision, decision, decision. How to solve problems. You just gotta be ready. You gotta be, because you're the adult in the room. That's something they didn't tell me, was I was gonna be the adult that was in charge. So that was a newsflash. You also have to be flexible. Sometimes it's kind of unexpected sometimes, because the kids will come up with something else that they're discussing in your lesson, and then you take it that other way. And sometimes it works out for the best. You're like, oh, I didn't even think about it like that. And they help you. So thanks, kids. So that wasn't negative, right? It's okay. So the next thing that I wish I would have known before becoming a teacher is we're not really treated like professionals. Let me tell you what I mean. A lot of people think we're babysitters. Let's just put it out there. That's what they think. Especially some family members or friends. They might say, that's all you do? Like, why are you tired? Why are you complaining? You have summers off. What's the big deal? But school's stressful. The kids, they stress you out. You don't want to say they stress you out, but they do. I wish people would support you a little bit more. I don't really want to say offer to help, because my parents and my husband, they help me all the time in my classroom. Not in my classroom, but like moving classrooms all the time, packing up my classroom all the time. they're always there to help. So they support me, but I wish society as a whole kind of respected teachers a little bit more, gave them more credit for what they do, because we do a lot of stuff. Especially when you're in college or doing student teaching, some people will criticize your choice to become a teacher, or they'll say, why would you want to do that? Or you're just a babysitter. But you need to really try to stand up for yourself a little bit. That's really hard to do too, but you'll get there. Also, as not being treated as professionals, at the end of the year, we do evaluations, and throughout the year with our observations. But at the end of the year, at least in New Mexico, we have to show all the things that we did. So we have to have proof that we went to meetings. We have to have proof that we did this, did that, all kinds of stuff. That can be a little tiring. I don't know if any other professions have to do that, like totally prove that they did everything that everyone saw them do all year, but that's kind of tiring. We also, as teachers, do a lot of work for free. So a lot of times when I'm at home, I'm laminating, I'm printing, we're working on the weekends, we're working through breaks. So people think during summer a lot of teachers don't really work, but we go to professional developments, we travel to go to these professional developments, we get our classrooms ready, we make new decor sets. So we're doing a lot of that work for free because we do not get paid for any of the work we do on the weekends and the weeknights, and especially during summer break. Okay, something else that I wish I would have known before becoming a teacher is how much you have to interact with parents. So of course you have wonderful, wonderful parents. There's always a few every year that go above and beyond. They help you out. They ask you how they can help you, which is just which is just amazing in and of itself. I don't know, which is just amazing. I know this year I have a family that has donated a bunch of games, books, all kinds of things because they knew of our situation coming from our old school, so that was very helpful. But there's also parents that just aren't gonna like you no matter what. So I'm trying to warn you right now, because when I first came to first grade, there were some parents that just didn't like me at all. Like, nothing I could do would change their mind, and that's how it's gonna be for some parents. It's just gonna be like that. They're not gonna like the homework you send. They're not gonna like if you don't send enough homework. They're not gonna like if you send too much homework. Sometimes parents want more. Sometimes they want even more interaction with you. So no matter what, you cannot please every single family in your classroom. And that's just how it's gonna be. Okay, something else that nobody told me about when I was in school to become a teacher is all the data we would have to take and look at and constantly discuss. This year hasn't been too bad, but a few years before, we would look at data all the time. We would chart it in our classroom. We would discuss it with our kids. We would chart it in their binders. We would have data binders for them, which we still do. But we would have data binders for them. We would have data meetings for them. So we would discuss the latest tests that we had and how many people were proficient and how many were nearing proficiency. And we would talk about what we could do to help them. There's just data for everything. Any little thing that you can think of in a classroom, we have to analyze that data. There's a million meetings. There's staff meetings. There's meetings where you learn new things. There's just meetings, it seems like all the time. Also, they don't really give you a lot of time to put your classroom up and to take it down at the end of the year. You kind of have to do it sometimes just in a day. Didn't know about that. Didn't know about that. I also didn't even know that I had to take my classroom down. I'm gonna be here next year. Are you guys firing me over the summer? These are the things I think about, like, why do I have to do that? I know some classrooms are very lucky and they get to keep everything on their walls the whole entire summer. Please let me know where you work if that happens. Also, along with time, there's just so much extra that we have to do. We have to do so much paperwork for all the data. We have to do focus folders where we talk about how we're doing our interventions during RTI time. If a child is not up to proficiency, we have to take them to SAT where we look at their data again and discuss if they need to have further testing. We have to put in grades. There's just so much extra that can drain your passion for teaching. Sometimes it does feel like teaching is the last thing that you really do and that you focus on. It's always a lot of extra things that you have to do right away sometimes, no matter what. Some other things that I wish I knew before teaching was all about classroom management. I wish they taught classes about this. I don't know if they do now because I'm old and I've been out of college for a long time, but they did not teach me anything about classroom management. And I feel like that's a huge thing to know. And we didn't learn that at all. Instead of writing 10-page lesson plans, I would have loved to learn about different classroom management styles. So if you are in school right now, you're gonna become a teacher, I would definitely look up as much as you can about classroom management because that is gonna save you. Like, that'll save your sanity. I also wish people would have told me that routines were everything. If you don't teach routines at the very beginning of the year, your whole year is gonna be crazy. The very first year that I was in first grade, I didn't really teach the routines. I kind of just went into, I literally have no idea what I did that year. But I did not focus on the routines very much in the very beginning, and you could tell. But now I go over them and over them and over them. If they don't line up the right way, we sit back down, we do it again. If they don't walk right in the hallway, we stop, we recollect, we go again. There's so many things that seems kind of annoying a little bit because you have to do it and do it and do it again. But it pays off in the end. You have to teach them how to plug in iPad. You have to teach them how to sharpen pencils. You have to teach them how to put things in their cubby. You need to teach them how to put things in their backpack. You need to teach them how to flush the toilet. You need to teach them how to wash their hands. You need to teach them how to throw away tissues when they blow their nose. You need to teach them how to get sanitizer. You need to teach them pretty much every aspect of the day. You need to teach them about it. If they spill, teach them how to clean it up. Do not clean it for them. Seems easier? They need to know that. I wish I would have known that though at the very beginning. How much routines and classroom management matter because they're huge. Also, what they didn't tell you when you were in school is sometimes you only have 10 minutes to eat lunch. Maybe you don't get a lunch at all. Maybe something happens. This goes back to the flexibility thing. You just have to be ready to not eat. Always have snacks in your room, always. I always have like a bag of pretzels or something just on my desk because you never know when you won't eat lunch and you need to have a little snack to keep you alive. Also, you don't get to go to the bathroom whenever you want. I'm sure you probably have heard this a million times, but that's something that I really never even thought about. You kind of have to train your bladder to go during certain parts of the day. Or you have to ask a colleague from across the hall to watch your class while you go to the bathroom, which is embarrassing, but not anymore because we all do it. So something else people never told me about teaching while I was in school is sometimes it's a love-hate relationship with teaching. Because some days you can feel totally drained, defeated, just sad. This year's been a hard one for me actually, but you try and find the positive at all times. So one day I was really just grumpy, just over it, like over it. And then this little boy brought me a note. And it was just so sweet because I think he saw the way I was feeling and he knew that I needed something to kind of pick me up, make me happy again, and it worked. So that's the thing. It's like you can love it and hate it at the same exact time, but you usually like it more than you hate it. There's just so many emotions that come with teaching. You never feel like you're doing quite enough, even though you're pouring your heart out every single day. You're working at home, you're working at school. More work doesn't equal more results, I guess. I don't know. But you just never feel like you're doing enough, but you are. Just always know that you are. No one quite gets it like another teacher. So some days you'll be having a bad day, just vent to another teacher about it. Usually someone that's on your team. My husband is a teacher. We carpool back and forth from school. Just in that car ride coming home, I kind of unload everything on him and just tell him everything that happened. Just heard my husband sneeze. I tell him a lot of stuff that happens during the day and it kind of just melts away. I get home and I feel a little bit better about everything. Teachers get it. If you tell someone else that isn't in teaching, they probably be like, and what's the big deal? He just threw up. What's the big deal? He just ruined a pencil sharpener. Who cares? But you know that was your favorite pencil sharpener and you don't want it to be ruined. Those are the kind of things that teachers will understand. Also with the emotions, even if you're sick, you're gonna feel guilty taking a day off. No matter what, even though it's awful to make sub plans, you're just always gonna feel guilty to take a day off. You're gonna be worried about your kids. You're always worried about your kids. Like even now, I'm like, I hope they're doing okay. You're just always worried about them day and night. You also feel a lot of pressure, especially from testing, because a good chunk of our evaluation comes from their test scores. Maybe they're having a good day, maybe they're having a bad day. Just so many little things can happen throughout their morning to mess up their day, to mess up the test scores, to mess up your evaluation. There's just so much writing on it. So just don't feel the pressure, just let it happen. They're going to learn. You are a good teacher. If you're trying your best, doing all you can, you're a good teacher, they will learn. Just don't feel that pressure, even though I do anyway. That was kind of positive, I guess, but this one is even more positive. So something else they didn't tell me about teaching was how much love you're gonna feel all the time. Those kids love you all the time. Even if they're mad at you, they'll still love you, they'll still hug you, they'll still write you a note. It's just the sweetest thing. Everything is just so sweet. The kids are so hilarious all the time. No one ever told me that I would hear all these crazy knock-knock jokes all the time. No one ever told me that kids write you like the sweetest notes in the world, and they're all misspelled, and they're just so cute, and they always have like a little rainbow or a little heart or something on it, and it's just so sweet. No one ever told me about that. Also, no one ever told me that I would have so many bracelets and BFF necklaces. It's just so sweet. Like, they think about you too. Like, you know how I said you think about them all the time? They think about you too. They go home, they pretend to be you all the time. They play school because they love you so much. One of my girls even went to Disney World and thought about me at Disney World and brought me presents back. Like, they love you so much. So you always get hugs every day. One little girl always brings me coupons for Burger King. I never told her that I like to eat at Burger King, but she brings me coupons all the time because she knows the teachers are poor. How sweet is that? No one ever told me that we would learn so much from the kids. I know they're learning from us all day, but we learn so much from them. They've taught me so much, not even just about school things, but about life, about being more empathetic towards one another. They're wise beyond their years. The first time that they're reading on their own and you know that you had a little bit of the first time that they're reading on their own and you know that you had a little bit of help in getting them there, nothing beats it. No one ever told me that when they leave to the next grade that I would be so sad. I miss my class from last year so... Can you stop talking? I miss my class from last year so much. I just went to visit them today in 2nd grade. Those kids, they're everything. You just miss them so much, especially during the summer. Like, I know you're drained during the summer, but then you're like, oh, I kind of miss them. And when you teach them once, they're your kids forever. And then you always hope that the new teacher will love them too. Okay, friends, so those are the things that I wish I knew before becoming a teacher. Do you have anything that you would add to the list? Because I know there's a bazillion aspects to teaching. So is there something that you wish you would have known before becoming a teacher? And maybe you can teach me something. Maybe I still don't know it. So please teach me things. Leave a comment down below if you have something that you would add to the list. Please make sure to subscribe, push the little bell, make sure to give this video a like if you liked it and you agree. There's just always so many things that teaching comes with. I'm sure there's a million things that I even forgot on this list. But really, those are the things that I wish I would have known because they were a little shocking coming in, but now I know and I'm better for it. I know you're a great teacher. You're gonna be a great teacher. If you're not a teacher already, just keep going, believe in yourself, and you are there for the kids. Don't forget that. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.